Hello everyone, welcome to Lit Studio by Karishma. So today we will be talking about Roland Barthes. We've already covered Roland Barthes and his role as a structuralist thinker. Now we are going to look at him as a post-structuralist. So Roland Barthes is one such crucial person who has his role both in structuralist theory and in post-structural theory as well. But his role as a post-structuralist theory thinker is much more prominent, so you should understand him and his concepts of post-structuralist theory in much better way. So now let's jump onto the video. We've discussed as a key figure in structuralism, but his work, The Death of the Author, which was written in the year 1968, made him a prominent figure in the post-structuralist theory. So you should always remember that his work in post-structuralist theory, which is very crucial to both the post-structuralist theory and his role in the theory of post-structuralism as well, is Death of an Author. So Death of an Author, which was published in the year 1968, is an essay by Barthes. Through this essay, Barthes rejects the idea of relying on the personal biography or intentions of the author who wrote the work to interpret what is perceived as the ultimate meaning of the text. So, what Barthes expresses through this work, The Death of an Author, is that we should never consider the personal biography or the intention with which the work is written of the author should not be considered while you are analyzing a particular text, because he says that there is no such thing as ultimate meaning. One goes after the ultimate meaning of the text, thinking if we analyze the intention of the author while writing the work, we can understand the ultimate meaning with which the author has written the work. But Barthes rejects this idea. Barthes says that there's no such thing as ultimate meaning, so one should never go after the personal biography or even the intention of the author with which the work is written. Barthes argues one's own interpretation to any work, which would be done by a process in which subtle or unnoticed characteristics may be drawn out of new insight, is far more important than the definitive meaning one that is intended by the author. So before the Death of an Author, in fact, in the historical aspect, in the historical analysis of the text, what one did was they used to go after the meaning that the author intended the text to be, the intention with which the author has written. So Barthes says that there is no such thing as a certain meaning, a definitive meaning, or the ultimate meaning in a text. One's own interpretation of the text and one's own meaning that one has drawn with his own interpretation is the ultimate meaning of the text. He says that one should observe new characteristics and new insights into our text, and only then he should analyze the text. One should not go after the author or any of the particular things like biography or intention of the author, especially the definitive meaning that the author has intended the text to have. He says that text meaning of a text is very personal and one should reach that meaning with his own interpretation of the text. This essay appeared on anthology of Barthes' essays called Image, Music and Text, which was published in the year 1977. So please remember this detail. The essay Death of an Author is published in the anthology of Barthes' essays titled Image, Music, Text. Alright, so that is all about the death of an author. He says that only after the author is dead. Dead is not literally dead, it is figurative death of the author, which means any detail related to the author should not be considered. So it should be dead. Only when the author is dead, meaning is born. That is the entire concept of death of the author. So now let's jump on to his other crucial concept called readerly text and writerly text. So readerly texts are those texts that are straightforward and demand no special effort to understand. What is written is simply that is understood. So there is no special effort on part of the reader to understand the readerly text. It is very straightforward. Readerly texts are usually presented in familiar, linear, traditional manner with no particular changes in the style and context. There is no challenge to the reader for him to overcome the hurdles and get to the meaning. It is very straightforward with a familiar, linear, traditional approach. Barthes is of the belief that most of the texts are readerly texts. So readerly texts do not engage the reader very much. They do not have passive. They have passive role to the reader. Reader is not active. Reader is not actively seeking the meaning of the book. So he is not an active personality in a readerly text. So in a writerly text, whose meaning is not immediately evident. In a writerly text, one should seek after the meaning. One should go after the meaning and understand the meaning of the text. So it is not very evident. So writerly texts are not very straightforward, unlike the readerly texts. These type of texts require some effort on the part of the reader. So when it is not straightforward, when it is not easily given to the reader, it requires some effort on part of the reader. The role of the reader in a writerly text is active, unlike the readerly text, is in a position of control in constructing the meaning of the text. So in a readerly text, a reader should control the meaning of the text. So the narrative structures of such text is rather complex. So in a writerly text, the narrative structures are complex, unlike the readerly text. So when we read about readerly text, we talked about the structure to be very linear and traditional. So in a writerly text, the narrative structure would be a little complex. There are several codes across the text which the reader has to discover. So in a writerly text, there are several codes given to the reader for him to discover and understand the meaning of the text. By turning the reader into the maker of the meaning, the writerly text defy the commercialization and commodification of literature. So that is what readerly and writerly texts are all about. So now we understand his concepts given as a post-structuralist thinker, which are death of the author and readerly text and writerly text. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you.